Hello, leader. Would you like to add a bit of fresh and new to spruce up the winter blues with your team? How about using this podcast, and others too, as a tool to train your team? Some of my clients already do this, and I thought we'd take a few minutes today to highlight some easy and fun ways to leverage the Stacking Your Team podcast as a training tool that elevates your team culture and the individual performance of your team members. Let's do it. Welcome to the Stacking Your Team podcast. This podcast is for anyone looking to strengthen their leadership skills and build a high-performing team. I'm your host, Shelli Warren. Leading people can be tough, but it's a skill we can all continue to develop. You already know that whether your workplace is big or small, people are your greatest asset and often your largest expense. That's why you take your role seriously and want to keep growing as a leader. You'll find that each episode is designed to provide practical solutions that you can apply immediately. So let's dive into today's episode with a couple of quick reminders. No one escapes team troubles, including me, and the team that got you here may not be the team that will get you there. This month, we're celebrating 7 years of coming along with you as you go about your day. 7 years of talking with you every Tuesday, encouraging you, listening to you, motivating you to keep accelerating your leadership skills. You know, over the years, the show artwork has changed. Where you find us has changed. You can even find us on YouTube now. But a few things have never changed in those 7 years. The name of the show, for one, nope, it's always been called Stacking Your Team. Because for those of you who don't know the backstory, well, when I was in corporate, I often had people speculating on my success and chalking it up to that stacked team she has. It's true. I know how to pick them, I know how to attract them, and I know how to keep them. Another thing that has never changed is that this show is about education and training. It's not a banter back and forth show like so many are now. I've never had a co-host, and I won't. Fans of the Stacking Your Team podcast know that I only feature clients as guests, which is why I no longer open or respond to pitches from people who want to be on the show. I used to take time politely, oh so Canadian, declining every email that came through or every DM, but not anymore. Why? Because I love showcasing my clients, and I usually do this in a series of episodes. And a new series is coming up, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss meeting them. Another fun fact is that our listenership lands like this. The biggest portion of listeners are in the US, followed by Canada, and then the UK. You know, we surpassed 500,000 downloads a long time ago, and we have a dedicated fan base with listeners from all genders who also happen to be people who own a business or those who work at a business. I also know that corporate team members tune in too. But the common thread of all of our listeners is that each person is a working professional who wants to succeed and wants to learn how to lead really, really well. I'm thrilled to be part of your podcast queue because there's so many to choose from now and so many other things competing with your time. So bravo on deciding to leverage podcasts as a tool for you to learn, grow, consider new ideas, and maybe even get a kick in the pants when you need it, and find community too. So let's talk about how you can use this podcast as a training tool for your team. The first strategy to leverage this podcast as a training tool for your team is to decide that you want to save time by using the podcast feed, the archive, and the new search functionality on our website. Now, if you haven't noticed, our Stacking Your Team website has gotten a glow up. The search bar on the podcast page will help you quickly find specific episodes for your current team troubles. So drop your keyword in and let the website serve up episodes that you can use as prepackaged and ready to go training for you and your team. So let me nudge you to think broader than your current team. Think about what your common hurdles are in onboarding new team members and add those episodes to your onboarding plan. And think about common challenges for newly promoted team members who are now responsible for others and now need to have a bigger impact in their role. Add those episodes to their training plan and their work plans. The second strategy to leverage this podcast as a team training tool is to set a drumbeat to use the portion of your team meeting to listen to an episode and then chat about it with everyone. Or you can do what some of my clients do, and they set a drumbeat to use a portion of a team meeting to discuss a particular topic that was teed up in advance as an expectation that everyone would listen to the episode and then come prepared to talk about their key takeaways. Some of my clients have built a Google Drive or even a Slack channel with the direct links to specific episodes, and they organize the folders by themes, making it super easy to find something. So very similar to what our new search engine will do for you on the website. The third strategy to leverage this podcast as a team training tool is to regularly use specific episodes with your leadership team members, and then host a deeper dive during your monthly leadership team meetings, including deciding how to roll out what you've just learned in exercises and activities during your team meetings that your leadership team plans and then facilitates. Why not give your leadership team the opportunity to shine, demonstrate their own leadership style, and build trust while having some fun with the team? Come on, why reinvent the wheel? Save time by taking the content from the episode and then build upon it with interactive conversations, puzzles, or even role plays. Regardless of what strategy you kickstart, be sure to recognize when someone is applying what they've learned from an episode. Call it out with shout-outs and add it to their performance review feedback and ask them to elaborate even more during team meeting discussions. And here's another idea. Many of my clients save episodes so that they can go back and re-listen to them while they're traveling or getting ready for a CEO day, or when they're preparing to make a big decision, or even as they're getting ready to walk in and host an adult conversation. That's what the podcast is for. It's your personal resource. You can use it any way that best fits your needs. Podcasts are free, super easy to find, and available on many, many platforms now, regardless of what kind of phone or laptop you have. You can listen to them at different speeds, and you can stop and resume your listening later if you need to. When you subscribe, you'll always be notified of each new episode because it will just magically appear in your feed. And you can always DM me on Instagram or LinkedIn and share your suggestion with me about an episode. I'm always happy to create content for you. So it all comes down to these two questions. Do you want to pour into your team in a way that can quickly kickstart a new way of thinking or approaching how they show up at work? Or do you want to evolve your own leadership style and the impact your leadership team has across your entire team? If you answered yes to those questions, then it's time for you to share this podcast with them. Don't keep it to yourself. It's not a secret. It's a resource. So why not use it as one that can accelerate how your team performs and how they perform collectively as one group, whether big or small? And hey, did you know I host a free live workshop every month? Each session is packed with game-changing insights to help you grow and lead with confidence. And people tell us our workbooks are fantastic. Want to know when the next one is and what we'll be diving into? Subscribe to our weekly newsletter and you'll always be in the loop. This could be the most valuable hour you've invested in yourself in a very long time. So if you found today's episode helpful, please share it with a friend. Tag us on Instagram. We're at Stacking Your Team. Leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, or visit our website and grab those free resources that are available to you over there. Don't miss out. Everything we do at Stacking Your Team is designed to help you strengthen your leadership skills and build a high-performing team. So I'll see you on Instagram or LinkedIn. And of course, I'll be here next week to join you as you step into expanding your leadership skills even further. See you then.